Ambassador, you listened to some of the speeches this morning, President Biden, King Abdullah, President Erdogan. What are your initial thoughts?
We expected that to happen. We heard the Secretary General at the beginning. The entire focus of his speech was about the suffering of Gaza, and he saw the applause that he received. But when he spoke about our hostages, silence. And then listening to Erdogan from Turkey, comparing our prime minister to Hitler, to the Nazi regime, it is outrageous. We will stand strong and proud against those lies, against the libel. And I am telling my colleagues in Israel, keep going, do whatever you have to do against Hezbollah, against Hamas. I know how to handle those guys here. What's important is that we're going to push back our enemies and allow the people of the north to go back to their homes and put more pressure on Hamas so we can bring back the hostages.
Every week, every day last week, there was a different meeting, either in the Security Council or the General Assembly, on Israel and either Hamas, Lebanon, what have you. This week, even with the high-level debate, there'll be a Security Council meeting on Friday and probably an emergency meeting on Lebanon. All these meetings, can anybody here actually get something done and try to work toward a solution here, or is it simply just talk?
No, it's much easier to talk and to condemn Israel. And let's speak about Lebanon for a minute. If someone wants to avoid a war today between Israel and Lebanon, he should speak up today against Hezbollah and put pressure on the Lebanese government. But instead of doing that, it's much easier to condemn Israel and to blame us for crazy things that they are doing here. So I expect from real leaders to come with real solutions, and there is a diplomatic solution. Hezbollah should move to the Litani River like it was decided in Resolution 1701 that was accepted in the Security Council, and that will be a solution that will avoid the escalation. We don't want to see full war with Lebanon. Lebanon will not look the same if they will continue to attack us.
So we heard the Secretary General remark this morning, he doesn't want to see Lebanon become another Gaza, but the solution seems rather simply a backup to the Litani.
Yeah, I haven't heard him saying anything about Hezbollah, mentioning the cause of the problem, mentioning the fact that Hezbollah attacked Israel on October 8th with no reason. The only explanation they gave was to show solidarity with Hamas. That's a reason to start a war with a neighboring country, to show solidarity. It's shameful. We are strong. And as I said earlier, it's important to fight the fight I'm fighting right here, but it's more important to win the fights and the battles we fight in the border with Lebanon and with Hamas in Gaza.
Iranian officials said earlier this week they're open to discussing new parameters for a nuclear accord, or at least reopening those discussions. Do you take that sincerely?
Absolutely not. I have been here for so many years, and I've heard those lies. They come with the masks and play the game, and then when they fly back to Tehran, they continue with enrichment of uranium and building the reactors. It's a deception. We know that. It's a game.
In terms of Prime Minister Netanyahu's speech, it's scheduled currently for Friday. Things are in flux, obviously, with his schedule, with the war ongoing. Assuming he makes it here and gives his speech, we obviously know what the topics are going to be about. Can you give us any indication as to what the actual tone of the message itself is going to be?
No, the Prime Minister, he wants to come here and to present his vision for the future, not only the challenges, but what we want to do ahead of us. But as you mentioned earlier, it's very dynamic. We are in a war now, so he postponed his arrival twice. He's scheduled now to come on Thursday and speak on Friday, but definitely he will focus not only on what we have endured in the last year, but also what we expect to happen in the next few months.
In terms of going forward here, obviously there's so much on the table, so much that is fluid at the moment with Israel, with Hamas, with Lebanon. What kind of discussions have you been involved in with other ambassadors, with other UN officials over the last 36 to 48 hours in terms of trying to de-escalate here?
So many leaders want to be involved with the situation in the Middle East. But I tell them, if you want to actually support, so name the bad guys. Don't blame the victims. It's not helpful. And all those who are playing the game, attacking Israel, they shouldn't expect that we're going to allow them to come and be part of the process. It doesn't work that way. You have to be neutral. You have to try to bring the sides to a point that they can agree. But what we see with most of the countries here, they just want to come, blame Israel, and move on.
Seems to be the modus operandi around here. Danny Danon, Israeli Ambassador to the UN, thanks for taking the time to join us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.